Podcast City.
Get on it.
Podcast City.
Get on it.
Oh, yeah, we are on it. This is a very special show, folks. It is episode 20 of Corona Chaos. Find a non-major news-affiliated podcast that has done 20 episodes on the Corona Chaos and virus. And sometimes it was like pulling teeth. But when we have a live camera and live microphones and a live producer there ready to take us all over the world, it is my responsibility to tell you guys about what's going on. You know what I mean? We're not going to talk about fireworks. We're going to talk about bullshit. This is real life. And like we said 3 weeks ago, we actually were probably late. The second wave is upon us. Listen, I was guilty just like you and just like a lot of others out there, okay? I had 1 foot in the reopen lane, 1 leg in the reopen lane. I was over the Jersey barrier into phase 3, ready to rock and roll. Were we socializing as much? No. Was our company restricted? Absolutely. Were we going to crowded places? Absolutely not. Okay? But I was feeling it. I was ready for the open. I was ready for that human contact. And then I saw those pictures from the beaches in Florida and in Texas and the spring break spots in Arizona. And I looked at them and I said, holy shit, that is too close. And what do you know? Just like that. And let me tell you something. You cannot deny the numbers that we have in front of us. There is absolutely no denying the numbers that we have in front of us. They are scary, folks. They are very, very scary. In fact, Mass General, okay, the anchor hospital of Massachusetts, Boston, the medical capital of the world, some say, says that this explosion of the coronavirus may not be able to be managed. Hospital beds are disappearing in Florida, in Texas, in Arizona, in California. Okay? Some of these states are running out of capacity. This thing has got us by the balls again. And just because we're Massachusetts doesn't mean that we're okay. Because this virus bounces around. It knows no boundaries. Okay? It knows. It goes wherever it goes, sometimes 18 to 20 feet on a sneeze or a cough. It's insidious. It is very, you cannot beat what you cannot catch, to use an athletic phrase. And this thing is slick, and it's infectious, and it's a little different than the flu. More people are going to get it, and the numbers are crazy. The numbers are absolutely crazy. In Florida, 31,000 cases this week. In California, 14,000 cases this week. In Texas, 19,000 cases this week.
Actually, that's just the last 3 days.
The last 3 days. Arizona, 10,000 cases. The mayor of Atlanta is quarantined. A young Broadway actor with all kinds of potential is dead. In Florida, 23 to 26% of the people that are infected are under the age of 35. And remember when we were told how the summer was going to be our best friend?
Yep.
Well, it hasn't been. So what's the winter have in store for us? Let me break down some numbers across the world, okay? Brian, get your calculator out.
Okay.
11,520,461 people across this big world of ours has corona. The death toll, 535,499. In the United States, 2 million people, 911 and 888 million. Okay, 2 million, coming up on 3 million people in this country, okay, with deaths at 130,000. In Massachusetts alone, there are 109, almost 110,000 cases with 8,183 deaths. Okay? Today, 663 people are in a hospital, and 100 of them, okay, are in the ICU. So 100 of them are fighting for their lives this very day in Massachusetts. Are the people that are dying old? Yes, they are. Okay? But the people that are getting infected, and it's admit that once this thing comes and goes, it does a lot of damage onto the body. Have you seen the before and after pictures, Brian, of some of the people that have had the corona and how fit and the shape that they were in?
I haven't seen the pictures of people
I have.
who've
I
had
have.
it, but I did read just a scathing article in the New York Times about it.
Yeah, I mean, it is banging up people who recovers bodies. The Mayor Atlanta is now quarantined. There is a European travel ban. Europe is saying no to the American dollar, and they depend on it. Americans are the most traveled people in the world.
Absolutely.
And the European Union is saying we don't want American tourists because the coronavirus is out of control in that country. Damn. We have a president that has his heels dug in. Mm-hmm. And I get it. It is the height of irresponsibility, but I get it. He's all in with the economy reopening, with the NFL coming back, okay, and the COVID, the numbers going down. He cannot turn back now.
Right.
33% of Americans think he's done a good job with the corona. But the scary thing for him and his people now are Republicans across the country, okay, are telling him and telling the administration, we need, in places like Arizona, in places like Texas and Florida, that there needs to be some type of social distancing and mask policy in place. Texas, okay, which is big on freedoms, okay, big on being Texas, and the governor has a mandating mask order and rolled back to the economy to phase 1.
Yes, he did.
So the rest of the Republicans around the country, except for a handful, okay, aren't buying what the president is saying about this virus. It's scary. It really, really, really is. And I don't want to go really to what Joe Biden said about wearing a mask is the most patriotic thing you can do on the 4th of July. Yeah, I don't know if you could question somebody's patriotism about this. I wear a mask if I go to the store.
Yeah.
For the other people out of there. Because it makes them feel better. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not this flag waving mass Nazi who is going to, yell, kick, and scream about masks being worn. Okay? Should you wear a mask if it makes other people comfortable? I think that's a small price to pay.
I agree.
When you look at, the people infected and how scary it is, and whether they're dying or not, they're still alone in the hospital, and their families, Milton, are turned upside down because they can't go see them. Could you imagine, not being able to go see your mother or your father or your grandfather when they are a grandmother, when they are, or your brother or sister, when they are critically ill? Could you imagine that? I lost my mother.
Yeah.
I mean, after I left, she was dead 6 hours later. We had the hospice people with us and said, "You got to come here right away." Okay? I sat on the side of her bed while she whispered in my ear and told me certain things that I'll take to my grave and remember always.
Yeah.
Okay? And that was hard enough. But I kissed my mother. I told my mother I loved her. I told her to take care of the people that we loved in heaven that were already there. And let's hope to God there is.
Yeah.
Okay? But imagine if you didn't have that opportunity. You know? Yeah, old people are dying. But it's still somebody's grandmother. Okay?
Yeah.
And a lot of us were raised by our grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were a working family. They had me at 18 years old. They both worked full-time jobs. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. Milton, did you?
No,
Not you?
my grandpa was dying when I was a kid.
Okay. How about you? Do you spend a lot of time with your grandparents?
I spent some where
I spent a lot of time.
but
a lot
I
of
mean there were aunts and uncles and neighbors and other people that I
Yeah.
that I was able to see.
So I don't want to go there as it being non-patriotic to wear the mask. But if you listen to the doctors and you listen to the scientists, with President Trump is none of them.
Yeah.
They say wear the mask. The data that we have compiled, okay, states that where social distancing and wearing masks have not been hit
Right.
with the second wave like the states who have not. It is clear as day if you go by the numbers,
Yep.
okay? You know, still lots of confusing information out there. You have Dick Cheney, Mr. Republican, okay? The vice president for George Bush, nobody more conservative than Dick Cheney,
Yep.
okay? He's walking around with the mask on.
Sure.
His daughter is like the third-ranking Republican on Capitol Hill,
Yep.
and you know, and she's telling people to wear masks.
Sure.
Okay, the governor of Texas is telling people to wear masks.
In a state of 30 million people.
Yes, the numbers just tell you, okay, that we should be wearing masks and we should be maintaining some type of social distancing. And the numbers also tell you, okay, they tell you the states that did this the right way, okay?
Yeah.
The states that did this the right way are either holding steady, like New York and Rhode Island, or they're decreasing, like Massachusetts and Connecticut, like Massachusetts and New Hampshire and Connecticut. Okay, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut, along with Kentucky, are 4 of the states that the numbers are dropping down. In 32 states in this country, cases are way, way up. In 14 states, cases are holding steady. In just 4,
Yep.
are they in a decline?
Yep.
And it's just, you know, it's like, when do you have to have some type of universal policy with taking into population, taking into density of cities, taking into available open space, taking all of that into consideration? It's like the fireworks thing, right, my man Milt? Okay, Massachusetts outlawed fireworks. How does that work out for you? How the fuck did that work out for you on 4th of fucking July?
Saturday morning, I went right across the border and I picked up some fireworks.
Yeah, you're lucky you got there in the morning, Milton, and that's my whole point, because there was 300 people in line in the afternoon.
There was a line. I waited about 30 minutes in line.
Really? At what time?
I would say about 10:30.
That's early on a Saturday.
Yeah, and the line was probably literally back to the state line.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
Just listen to me for half a second here,
Sure.
right? Listen. This is how confusing this shit is. Okay. New Hampshire, Lowell, all our friends up in the North Shore.
I
all
lived
the,
up there.
All the friends up there. Boom, they're going to New Hampshire. We can buy better fireworks in Rhode Island. All the people out here, if they're not going to New Hampshire, they're going to Tiverton. Okay?
Yep.
So tell me what good it does for Massachusetts to bar fireworks.
Zero.
I mean, you're kidding me? We live with open borders. We depend on interstate commerce.
Yep.
Okay? I believe it's guaranteed in the United States Constitution. Okay? For states to trade freely with each other. This is...
Yeah, I think like the Interstate Commerce Act.
I'm not sure what it is, but I believe it to be there. I'm a political science major, so I should know.
Yeah.
But the point is this. There are no armed guards at the border checking to see if you got fireworks, man. And you are cruising in and out. It's big money in Tiverton. It's big money in Nashua, New Hampshire. It's big money at the border cities. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. So if my point coming back to the corona is, if Rhode Island, hypothetically, if Rhode Island and New Hampshire aren't playing ball, what good does it do for Mass too?
Exactly.
What do you think? The corona antibodies are going to say, oh, back the fuck up. We're coming into Massachusetts. It's illegal here. No.
Let me take that a step further.
Well, yeah.
New Hampshire has no sales tax.
Sure. Even more incentive to go up there and buy them.
I used to live 10 minutes from the New Hampshire border. Where do you think I bought my alcohol?
Sure. Did you drive 50 minutes to save 10%? You are a cheap bastard. I'll tell you that right now. Breezy, I feel bad for you back there, man. Get all the money you can from him. You are in this age of political correctness, I would say something very forever right now, but I will not. I don't want like some crazy protesters in front of some French protesters throwing French meat pies at me.
All 5 of them.
I don't want that. But okay, that is the point. The lack of policy, and I'm not saying that Mass should have the same policy as Maine. But there's going to be some type of algorithm. There's going to be some type of statistical breakdown. We say, okay, Mass is very much like Connecticut. You know, Mass is very much like, you know, this as far as population per person and how they're going to do it and break it down. Mm-hmm. You know, but to have, you know, 50 different minds creating 50 different policies in a country that's supposed to be one.
Yep.
You know, it hasn't worked for this.
I got an algorithm for you.
Go ahead.
Common sense.
Really?
Common sense.
And what's the common denominator on that?
The common denominator on that is you wear a mask if you're not feeling well. You wear a mask to show courtesy towards somebody else. If you're sick, stay home.
Sure.
You know, just general. You know, I mean, I'm in a car with lots.
But Brian, we're
of
not
people.
perfect. We're not perfect though.
Sure.
We're not sanitizing these mics like they're supposed to. Like, I don't want to come on here and say, "Listen, I got all the fucking answers," because I do not. Okay, believe me when I tell you. Okay, I think I gave ourselves a B- effort or a B+ effort on quarantining, right?
Yeah.
There weren't many people coming through these doors. You know what I mean?
There weren't many people going anywhere.
Yeah, but coming through here,
Sure.
it was the same people.
Right.
If we were infected already, if we were,
Right.
How I looked at our inner circle of trust and production and talent here, okay? But you know, but there were things we could have done better. I mean, you know, we go with our hot water. We had a plumbing issue. You know, we could do a little better job of maybe cleaning the mics. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, you know, we're not saying you have to do everything right, but having fucking pool parties, you know, 2,000 people around a 150-foot pool, it's insanity to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Look at the football. Look at LSU. Look at Clemson. Look at Alabama. Look at Texas. Okay? The closer you are to people, you know, in football, you're sweating on each other. You are bleeding on one another. You are coughing, snotting, sneezing, your way through, 15 minutes of contact, per quarter. It's hard to do. You're in helmets, you're in locker rooms, you're in hotels, you're in airplanes, all of it. And look at the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about the state of sports in a minute.
Yep.
But let's stay with Trump. Is it possible, let's call the non-mask wearing herd, right? If this thing continues to get worse, will they listen if Trump still says no to the mask? Is Trump the only way? Is President Trump the only way we can convince because you have your libertarians out there,
Sure.
okay?
Yeah.
You have your people say this is America, it's a free country, and I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. And you know something? It is a free country. You can basically do what you want to, within the law.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what type of effect would Trump have on the herd if he says, listen, this thing's getting a little out of control. I'm concerned about Texas. I'm concerned about Florida. I'm concerned about the young people getting it. Those numbers are way up. I'm concerned about Arizona. I'm concerned about California. I'm concerned about Louisiana and Mississippi. I'm concerned about Tennessee. All these places seeing big-time spikes.
Yep.
Okay? We're going to have a little change of direction here. Not everybody is perfect, okay? But is it going to take him making a move like that to get to the people who en masse aren't wearing it?
I would say, I think I said this a few months ago. He's the one who has to lead the charge, and unfortunately, he's not only not leading the charge.
But he's not leading people in New York. He's not leading people in Mass. He's not leading people in Connecticut.
Right.
But I'm talking about these people who are like heels dug in, not wearing masks. He's the only way to get him to wear masks, right? I mean, I would think so.
Yeah.
If I was in charge of getting people who aren't wearing masks, if I had a magic wand, or I had, what do you get, 3 wishes when you rub the genie?
Yeah.
Is that what happens? Okay. If I had that one magical dust, okay, I would go to the President of the United States and sprinkle it on him and have him to saying it's time to mask up and social distance. We gotta finally beat this thing, because like I said 100 times before in the last 3 episodes, we let this son of a bitch off the mat again. Okay.
Yeah.
To come back, and it could be worse this time. Okay. Are the nurses in Florida, in Texas, in Arizona, in Tennessee, in Mississippi, in Louisiana, are they going to be able to do the job that the nurses in New York, in Connecticut, in Rhode Island, in Mass did? Are they going to be?
It's going to be a struggle.
Are they? We're talking about the medical capital of the world, the Northeast Corridor, right there.
Sure.
Okay? The best of the best doctors. Are some of these states going to be able to handle it? Florida's running out of beds.
Florida's already out of beds in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Some hospitals are already over capacity.
Sure. Texas, boom. Do their nurses have it in them? Because the first wave, they kind of went unscathed a little bit, right?
Yeah.
The pressure was on the population centers, the urban areas, okay? Yeah. The pressure was on your Bostons, your New Yorks, your Philadelphias, your Detroits, your San Franciscos, people living on top of one another. Mm-hmm. Now it's a little different.
Right.
Okay? I mean, are they going to have that resistance? Are they going to have that work ethic and pride? I hope and pray they do, because I'm going to tell you something right now. If the American work failed us the first time, the American nurse, we were fucked.
Yeah.
The medical frontliners, the nurses, the doctors, the x-ray techs, the phlebotomists, the people that were in the trenches, in the hospitals, in the fields in New York and Boston, in the triages at UMass Dartmouth, making that kind of commitment. They bailed our ass out. Our early detective system did not work, okay? Our Surgeon General and our lead doctors dropped the ball, as our president, as of most people did. And you know something? I'm not pointing fingers here, because the first time, Brian,
Yeah.
it gets the drop on you. You're not ready for it.
Sure.
So it's hitting you and punching you before you're adequately prepared. Just like a street fight. The guy who throws the first punch is going to win most of the time. Okay? It's like having an armed police presence in a school.
Yeah.
Unless that police officer is paying attention 100% of the time, how is he going to stop some lunatic from walking in there and shooting him? The element of surprise in crime, in war, in murder, in these medical situations are huge.
And they're your best weapon.
If you're on the offensive, but if you're like us and you're not really prepared, but you're hearing things on CNN and you're hearing things on Fox and you're seeing stuff online, but what is this COVID? Is it COVID? Is it Corona? Is it from China? Is it from Turkey? Oh, it's just the West Coast, Pacific Northwest Coast thing, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it snuck up on us. But it shouldn't happen again. You know? Are we properly supplied for round two?
Oh yeah, I was just about to ask that.
I mean, are we?
Equipment-wise, I mean, you know,
well, we should be. Bet your ass we should be.
We should have been the first time, but we weren't.
I'm giving everybody immunity for the first time through.
Okay.
All right, I'm giving immunity to Trump, to the Surgeon General, all of it. People for dropping the ball. Mm-hmm. Because this is something we've never seen before.
That's great, but what about round two?
I'm not giving anybody fucking immunity then.
There you go.
Okay,
There you go.
Absolutely. Hey, if it happens once, shame on you. If it happens twice, shame on me, right?
Yep.
So now, with the type of data that we looked at, Brian, it was embarrassing.
Sure it is.
You know, I wanted to come out here and say, listen, if you don't fucking think there is a problem with the coronavirus, okay? And I'm not just talking about people dying, okay? I'm not talking about that, okay? But if you don't think there's a problem with the coronavirus, okay, you are an idiot, okay? You may not die. You may walk through it. I believe that I had it and came through it. But because of coronavirus, gyms are closed. Where do people stay fit? Where do diabetics need to go and work out and exercise? Right?
Right.
What's packed? Fast food lines, right?
Oh, yeah.
We already have an obesity problem in this country. Okay? So it's not just getting the corona, it's the collateral damage of all of it. People not seeing their mothers and fathers, if they're medical workers, for days and weeks upon a time because they're working 16 hours.
Yep.
Let's talk about the drug addiction levels due to quarantining. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yep. Let's talk about mental health issues. In Texas, they rolled it back to phase 1. Mm-hmm. Okay?
And they were one of the first ones to reopen.
Sure. That's the common denominator. They roll it back to phase 1. Okay? So now, schools, kids aren't going to be in schools. Anybody here want to tell me that remote learning over a computer and having test packets in a bifolder is going to replace the American teacher who busts her ass?
No way.
Who puts her personality? Milton, you probably never forget some of your best teachers, right? Can you believe I am being taught by a fucking robot and it sucks badly? Okay?
There's somebody in this room that can testify to that.
The je ne quoi. There you go, Brie. The je ne quoi. The personality of the teacher. Her command presence. Notice how you don't treat every student the same way.
No.
The teacher's instincts. How do you put that into the equation? She's got 20 years of experience. She's seen Brianna 11 years ago. She remembers the student. She sees the you of 7 years ago. They know. It's their instincts.
Yep.
Literally halfway through remote learning, I was like, I want to go back to school.
Let me tell you
And this is somebody who can't stand school.
Yeah, of course. this is your 12-year-old daughter.
This is my 12-year-old daughter.
Okay.
Daughter.
That's right. Who's begging to go back to school. So you know something's fucked up with the incredible learning. Yeah, I mean, seriously. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I mean, if you want to make it, I mean, it's crazy. But, so now everything's going to go around most of the country. Mm-hmm. Everything's going to go backwards. And even those 4 states where the numbers are decreasing, right?
Yep.
People go to Mass on vacation. People go to Connecticut on vacation. People go to New Hampshire, Santa's Village, packed.
Yep.
Canopy Park. I mean, you know, all of it. You know, I mean, how long can we hold on for?
Yeah, and you and I were talking about this last week.
Yeah.
When it came out that Massachusetts had recorded 0 deaths. I think it was
Like
last
2 days in a row
Tuesday
or something
or
like that.
last Wednesday
Yeah.
or whatever it was, and we talked about it. We said, you know, is this time to spike the football? And I said, absolutely not.
No, you brought that up. Don't give me credit for that. You deserve the credit for that because you said, and you know what we're not doing? We're not spiking the football. And I said,
No.
you should make a one-hitter with that after the show because you're right. We didn't gloat. We were still July 3rd saying, hey, listen, please don't go crazy down the Cape. Don't go to bars. Try to stay, you know, the social distancing thing.
And what do people do? They don't listen.
Well, I think they're complying in Massachusetts better than other places, and that's why I think
Yes.
our numbers are so low. So, forget that you're a Republican. Forget that you're a Democrat. You might be a Libertarian. You might be independent. Is this? Let me assure you, whether you get your news from Fox, whether you get your numbers from Fox or from CNN or from Bloomberg or from the BBC or from conservative or left or right news places, this. Look at the numbers. The numbers are going to tell you clearly social distance and mask is the way to slow this shit down. Okay? Mm-hmm. I don't want to come here acting like I know everything, but when we break down the numbers, we get them from everybody. Okay? And we got notes and notes and notes and notes and notes. Before I do the show, I spend 2 hours on notes. Okay? And you know, you cannot say that the numbers are lying because the numbers that you're getting, and then you look at the non-mask wearing, early opening, live free or die, wear a mask if you want, tight places are going through it now. They're getting their ass kicked. And another thing that President Trump says that really, really bothers me, that this is harmless to 99% of us.
Well, I'll tell you what. I read an article
Yeah.
that tells me absolutely differently. And what they're saying is there's a second side to this. It's the recovery.
Yeah.
Or the lack thereof.
Sure.
Because people are reporting continued shortness of breath, muscle weakness, flashbacks, mental fogginess, scarring, damage, or inflammation of
what?
vital organs, lungs, the
Oh,
heart,
really?
the liver, the kidneys.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they're talking
The
about
picture I saw of the personal trainer, the bodybuilder, not a bodybuilder, more like a CrossFit guy, super fit.
sure.
Like 2 weeks before I got the corona, and what he looked like after dealing with the corona for 2 months, I was like, he looked like me after going out 6 nights a week for 3 years. I mean, he turned into the Pillsbury Doughboy overnight. It seemed. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, it's not 99% harmless because the kids aren't in school, because the kids haven't played a spring sport and probably aren't going to play a fall sport, okay? Because people are lined up at fast food lines because they don't want to go to the supermarket. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, people who have mental health issues are locked in their house. The worst place for them to be. People with addiction issues, the numbers are skyrocketing. Kids being not having interaction like they're doing, is like Governor Baker said, is not good mental health policy.
Not at all.
So there's a lot more to this than people dying. Okay?
Yeah.
And let's forget about the poor bastards in the ICU. Because we all love our mothers, we all love our fathers, we all love our families and our relatives. And to not be able to be there during a time like this when it's touch and go, boom. And can you imagine them knowing that this could be lights out?
Yeah.
And they're lying in bed and they're like, did I tell my freaking daughter or my grandkid everything I wanted to tell them?
Yep.
Are they at peace being alone at the time of death? If they don't have religion, what do they got? What if they don't have it? What do they have? They have a mind that's not working properly because of this. They have a body that's failing them, and they're knocking on death's door. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not.
And let me speak to one thing, because I can speak from experience about getting a phone call that one of your parents passed away.
Sure.
And not even being there for them.
Well, some people don't have the luxury to be there for. My mother died of cancer, okay, rapidly, but I got to hold her hand before she took, one of her last breaths, okay? Mm-hmm. I watched them bag her up, put my mother in a black bag with no name on it, and headed to the coroner's thing.
Yep.
Okay? You want to talk about cold, Jack? You want to talk about cold? Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. Doesn't matter if you're a millionaire. Doesn't matter if you got 2 cents in your pocket. You're going in that mass coroner's bag.
Yes, it is.
Okay? You're going in the same bag that the guy that drives a Rolls Royce, or the guy that drives a Hyundai, or the guy that eats filet mignon, or the guy that eats filet of fish at McDonald's. You are all going in the same bag. Yeah. And it is a cruel, harsh fucking reality. Okay? I seen it happen to my mother 6 feet from me. I was like, yo, but it's a process, and you got to do it. Yeah. And so there is, you cannot just evaluate this by the death tolls. You got to talk about the economic impact. You got to talk about the mental health equation. You got to talk about the public education in the schools. Okay. You got to talk about developing minds. You got to think about the wear and tear on the American nurse. You got to think about lots of things in this case. It's not all about the death numbers. Okay?
Exactly.
Major baseball, Mike Trout's wife's pregnant. She dropped the hammer on him, bro. I watched his press conference. I watched him talk to the media. I watched an interview with him today. Mike Trout, the best baseball player in the world, is like, my wife is pissed and does not want me playing baseball, and I don't think I'm going to play baseball because I don't want to piss my wife off who's pregnant because of the corona.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on, President Trump. It's not 99% harmless. It's harmful.
Yeah.
Sadly.
And can be passed along to somebody who is even more vulnerable than the first person that got it.
15 to 20% of the people who catch the disease go into the hospital.
Yep.
Okay? Out of that 20%, half of them go into intensive care.
Yep.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Most American families do not have the money in the bank, Milton, to sustain a serious repair for their car or a hospital bill of over $5,000. Most American families. So how can you say that it's all harmless?
There's a price to pay in more ways than one.
But Donald Trump is stubborn, and that's probably why he's been successful and other things in his life, and he's Donald Trump, and like, say what you want about the guy. He won the election. Period. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he built an established, entrenched political brand name, the Clintons, in the election where he was not supposed to win. Up until the last minute, they didn't think he was going to win. But he did. So let's face it. I know that's tough to swallow for some snowflakes out there. And believe me, I'm a lot closer to a snowflake than Make America Great Again. Believe me when I tell you that. But I'm telling you, you got to deal with it. But I think right now he's so all in as a poker player, Brian.
Yep.
You know, with this, he's so all in with this libertarian, don't wear a mask, blah, 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 blah. I'm not wearing a mask. I don't want to look weak. I'm into this, that. There's no turning back for him.
He's trying to hit another inside straight is what he's trying to do.
Yeah, you know, he is, I'm not sure what that analogy means. Unless you're a poker fan, you might not figure it out. You want to articulate that? I mean, what's he trying to do?
He's trying to win the hardest way possible.
Hey, poker's about math, right, Brian?
Poker's about math. Poker's about psychology. Poker's
okay.
about
Okay, but here's the deal, right?
What's physically in front of you.
So he's not going to get a magic card that's going to make this go away.
No.
He's, you know, if you play a bad hand in poker, you could get lucky on the river and get some type of shit. But the science and math aren't working for his ideology here.
Exactly.
So there's no bailout there.
No, there isn't.
You know what I mean? It's time to cut and run. 32 states: Alabama, Alaska, Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Michigan, Mississippi. I can't even read it. North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Wisconsin, West Virginia, 32 states. The cases are up. Holding steady, there are 14 states: Arkansas, Colorado, Maine, Minnesota, Nebraska, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Wyoming. 4 states are in decline: New Hampshire, Mass, Kentucky, and Connecticut. Okay? The Phoenix mayor is on record saying we opened way too early. The Texas governor has just mandated masks in Texas. Just mandated masks in Texas. He's rolling back to phase 1. Okay? The mayor of Atlanta, one of our biggest, most vibrant cities down south, the jewel of the South. The mayor is quarantined in Atlanta. She's got 4 kids. Okay? The second wave is upon us, and Donald Trump's all-in philosophy, anti-mask, I believe is hurting this country right now.
And you know something? What was one of the big things that he ran on in 2016? Building a wall?
Yeah.
Well, to take that a step further, Arizona, Mexico has shut off the border in Arizona for people crossing from the United States into Mexico.
I'll tell you what, the Portuguese, the English, the Spanish, they don't want nothing to fucking do with us either. What's going to happen is they're going to start building a wall to keep our asses out. What the fuck is happening in this country? God bless me on the 4th of July. I love you. I love you, America, but we got to get this right. All right? This ain't about Republicans, Democrats. This is about microbes and antibodies and viruses and stuff that is way over our head. 35% of Americans think Trump's doing a good job with the corona. The corona is hurting him.
Yeah.
With your liberal, your socially liberal, financially conservative Republican types. This is certain. That's why they say he's all in with the mask.
He's all in with the mask, and unfortunately, he may be all out with the mask too, because he's losing in the polls in a lot of states.
Do not underestimate that man's ability to convince the masses.
Sure.
Do not sell that man short. His ability to influence and articulate what things he says. You know, I'm not going to do it, but he won't. Texas, Florida, Arizona, California, they are the epicenter of the second wave. Also, Out of that, the next priority is the Gulf Coast, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and the Panhandle of Florida. That's going to be the next epicenter, okay? Getting closer to us. Will Massachusetts be adversely affected by the other states' inability to control it, Brian? Or do you think that we're out of the smoke?
Oh, I think we are definitely not out of the smoke. And the reason why is now we're getting into the heart of tourism season. You've got the Berkshires that's opened up, the Cape that's opened up. Yeah, you got
Boston, you got Providence, you got places.
Newport.
Yeah.
And that's why I said this is the wrong time to be spiking the football.
Yeah.
Because now everybody's going to be coming from all parts of the country.
Sure.
To visit us, and that's where it's good. This is potentially going to be a problem.
Yeah, I'm not for quarantining people though. I am not going to restrict. Gina Raimondo pissed me off about that. Before people go to the. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You got to just ask people to do the right thing, or make it a mandate. You know. Right now, I don't think people are getting locked up for not wearing a mask, nor should they.
But either way, how do you enforce it?
Yeah, of course, it's unenforceable. Exactly. Especially, and we talked about how much difficult it was going to be to quarantine in the summer. We talked about it, right?
Of course.
My first example was a single mother with 3 kids living in a Flint.
Yep.
You know, like she's going to go to the beach.
Of course.
It's peace of mind because the kids are going to come home and sleep like Anthony's sleeping on the couch right now. Like, I mean, they're not going to be bouncing around. You know what I mean? Hey, Cardoza. But
This quarantine has done some stuff to kids.
yeah, I can tell. You still are a kid before you start talking about them in the third person.
Exactly.
I am the hurricane. The second wave of corona is very, very, very real, okay? If you don't want to wear a mask, okay, if you go in a closed building or indoors somewhere, please wear the mask for the guy on the side of you. I don't wear a mask when I'm walking down exercising outside, okay? But when I go into a store, I try to do it, if not for me, for the other guy. That's the best way. At the end of the day, black or white, yellow, brown, whatever it is, north or south, east or west, Republican or Democrat, however you want to slice it, Yankee fans, Red Sox fans, American football or European football fans, we are all Americans. I love you. God bless you. Stay hip to what's going on with Corona chaos. Peace.
And stay safe.
Good job, Ryan.
Podcast City. Get on it. Podcast City. Get on it.